In case you haven't noticed it, Kaizer Chiefs are not the type of team who fire coaches after 3 months of bad performances. In case you also haven't noticed, Kaizer Chiefs have also added Calvin Johnson to the technical team, although he's somewhere somehow in youth, but still he's part of the technical team. And I thought to myself, you know what? I actually want Kaizer Chiefs to add someone else to the technical team. Hello and welcome to Kosi Nation Fan TV. I am Pelo, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Kosi Football Club. I am talking, of course, about Shaun Bartlett. No, not as a coach. Although even as a coach, he has done okay for Cape Town Spurs because it did take them from not even from relegation. It took them from Vela or Glad Africa or Mtsepe Foundation and brought them to the PSL. Obviously, if you're not going to sign players into the team and they've ascended to another division, you're obviously going to get relegated. We saw this with even teams that were seemingly competing in the division like Maritzburg United, that even though they were competing in some other seasons, they ended up selling way too many of their players, and because of that, what ended up happening? They ended up getting relegated. All these teams that sell too many players, they end up getting relegated. But if you're going to get promoted to the Premier Division of the country and not strengthen your team, well, you're setting yourself up for failure, especially if you saw that the coach deserves to be pegged. Not to mention the fact that at Cape Town Spurs, Bartlett did not just have the same team as last season, but also the other thing is that some of the players that were loaned to him have now went back to their teams, and in some cases like Ashley Cupido, they got some injuries and some niggling, and I think there's another player, I forget whether it's Ratomo, who was loaned from Pirates, who just came back from injury. So it was just a mixture of unfortunate things happening to a person, and because of that they struggled. I mean, look in England, a team like Burnley, with the team that Life Foster play for, they were struggling beginning of the season, but they were flying in the championship. They come to the Premier League, then they were struggling, but now they're starting to get form. But once again, you look at it and you think to yourself, it was not to be for him to continue being a coach. But that's okay, because I don't want him to come to Kaizer Chiefs and coach. But what I do want him to come to Chiefs and do is to be a striker coach. Let's take you back to the year 2019-2020 when Samir Nukovic was scoring goals, and even before that. When Shaun Bartlett was at Kaizer Chiefs, our strikers were scoring goals left, right and center. And then the moment he left, the goals dropped, the strikers were getting injured, were missing stupid, idiotic goals that were supposed to convert. And also, as much as I will say that Winsegi, there are certain things that I don't like how he positions players, but there are some chances that we have created with the team that we have, with the poor coaching that I see in my eyes. Although there is improvement, but there's still some mistakes that need to be fixed. There are some mistakes, there are some chances that we are creating, but we are not converting. And I do think sincerely that with a striker coach who's going to work with those strikers, you can see Kaizer Chiefs massively improving. So Bartlett is available right now. I don't see a need why we are not approaching him, because he's there, out there. And this thing is actually more worrying than it seems, because it seems like Kaizer Chiefs are not paying attention to this one thing. Because remember that, even if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Max Mamponyane who said, I'm available if they need a striker coach. And that was last season when we were missing chances. And now we're back at it, missing more chances, and still we haven't gone and gotten a striker coach. We've gotten a psychologist who's also obviously going to be good for the team. But the person who's supposed to help us finish off the chances that we are creating, we're still not looking at that. Because as much as the coach can tell the players be composed, to help the players to be composed, but a striker coach, a person like Bartlett, like Max Mamponyane, people who have actually played the game and have seen how you should position yourself in the box, then all of a sudden it will make a lot of difference. Because I remember it was Dominic Calvert-Lewin in his season, his best season at Everton. He said that he got himself a striker coach, and then he told him that, listen, don't trap the ball in the box. Try to just finish one touch, first time finishes. And he was scoring a lot of goals because he was having those first time finishes, and it was helping him a lot. You see players like Lionel Messi, he went to Inter Miami and was advising one of his teammates, telling him that you need to stand more. you are always moving, but sometimes you just need to hold your position and wait for the ball to come to you. And I was hearing Pep talking about the same thing, saying that he tells his players that the ball should come to them, they don't go to the ball. And if you know the story about Pep, there was this one time where Henry, when he was at Barcelona, he was playing as a left winger, and then he got bored because the ball wasn't going to him. So he went to the right wing position, he got the ball, he scored the goal, and then Pep subbed him. And it was like, because you move from your position. Because you might say, but I moved from my position and I ended up scoring. But what if they'd won the ball from that side? Then they were going to start a counter, and then we were going to have a problem. So some of these things, it's better to hear from people who have actually played the ball and understand more tactically about the situation. And also, since we know that even if they did demote Ntsegi from his position, he would still be around Chiefs. So they would probably make him second, or they would make him second, an assistant coach, and then Zwan another assistant coach, maybe demote Shepard to development. We don't know. So as it stands, Chiefs are not firing Ntsegi, and maybe that some people would argue that this was too soon in any case to fire him. So then give him more people. Obviously, if you add Bartlett to the technical team, don't give him a 3-year contract, because we've noticed and realized that giving these people 3-year contracts only to find that you'll be tired of them within a year, it's not really helpful. But what do you guys think about all of this? Let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, remember, equals Alpelumo.